All right, welcome. We're just getting started for the first annual Health is Wealth Week. It's 12:59, so at 1 p.m. on the dot, we'll get started with the presentation, the talk, the conversation about health is wealth. That's my warm up. That's my warm up. You got to get into the groove. That's my warm up. Are we on yet? All right, 1 o'clock. All right, go ahead, hit that Facebook Live. What's up, Facebook? Welcome to the first annual Health is Wealth Week. Give it a few minutes to let the feed populate. And then we'll get started. It's nothing like talking to yourself as you wait for people to arrive in a digital environment. Gotta be social during the pandemic. Give it a few minutes. Give it to about 1:05 and we'll get started. And that'll be that. Conversation. There we go. That'll be the same all week. What's up? Who's on the line? I'll move that out the way. Let me see who's logging on. Facebook, talk to me. Who's logging on? We're giving it to about 1:05. Give it a little bit of time for everybody to log on, and then we'll get started. But let me know who's online. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day today. Like my hair it's getting long. I can do the hair flip now. What's up? Who's logging on? Welcome. We're giving it a few minutes before we go live with the presentation for the day, or the conversation. So not so much a presentation, but a conversation. Let me know if you're on. Am I missing it? Let's see. For some reason, Facebook is not telling me who's logging on. All right, there we go. What's up, Dominique? Happy Sunday. It's Groundhog Day. I've been calling every day during the pandemic Groundhog Day. It's basically the same. What's going on? What you got going on today? I'll tell y'all, before we get started, I've got multiple cameras going, and for some reason I have a different setup than I normally have when I do my lives. So today it feels more like I'm kind of like in the studio, and so I can feel the uncomfort, the discomfort of being out of my comfort zone, and in my seating, and my posture, and my environment. But we'll fight through it. Who else is on? We got about a minute. It's 1:04, and I'll just get started. Seems definitely silent in here. I guess that's a good thing. We only got about six to 8 weeks, 6 to 10 weeks before the baby drops. So I guess I gotta appreciate the time when everything is silent because I'm no longer going to have as much control over being able to maintain the quietness in the house. But that's okay. We're looking forward to it. Okay, it is 1:05 p.m. Okay, so welcome to the official start of the Health is Wealth Week. This is the first time that we are having, that I am hosting the Health is Wealth Week. It's the first annual Health is Wealth Week, and you can certainly expect to see Health is Wealth Week pop up around this time every single year. What is Health is Wealth Week? Health is Wealth Week is basically, obviously, it's a week of events, but it's basically an opportunity to have a conversation about health and health and all that it entails: your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. And I wanted to have a week where not only did we talk about wealth, and generally, if you follow me, I talk a lot about wealth, and typically that's kind of in the financial sense. But to balance out the financial wealth that most people focus on, we're constantly focused on money, constantly focused on the finances, to the degree where oftentimes a lot of people will neglect their health, their physical health, their mental health, their emotional health in pursuit of financial achievement, or in terms of financial accomplishment, or just making money to pay the bills. So making sure that I did my part to help balance that conversation. And that's kind of what the motivation was behind developing Health is Wealth. In addition to that, also just the personal journey that I've been on, the personal experiences that I've had in my lifetime, directly as well as through, family members and friends. Health is a very important part of my life, and it's been a very important part of my journey, especially over the last, really my entire life, but certainly my journey over the last 10 years has taken on more of a more conscious journey than just the physical exertion and the physical activity and just the fun and the excitement that you get, from physically being active. So those are some of the reasons why I started Health is Wealth Week. And and to give you an idea of, some of the things that you can expect through Health is Wealth Week, I'll go over the agenda for the week. I'm excited about the opportunities and the partnerships I was able to put together for this week. We've got some very knowledgeable, some very experienced speakers who are going to come on this week and talk about, different aspects as it relates to your health. But anyway, moving on from, why Health is Wealth Week, or what Health is Wealth Week. That's a tough one to get down. Health is Wealth Week. I'll talk a little bit about, why. In addition to some of the things I mentioned, I just want to be able to bridge that gap in conversation. And I know that if there isn't someone to bridge that gap in conversation, or to even utilize it as a conversation starter, a lot of people aren't really thinking about their physical health, their mental health, their emotional health, outside of them being conscious of the mood and the emotion and the feeling that something just isn't right. And oftentimes we kind of acknowledge that, and we accept it, and we know there are things that we can do, but then we often don't move past the feeling and the mood and the emotion that we're experiencing and the discomfort that we're experiencing. So Health is Wealth Week is designed to, help bridge the gap, help be that conversation starter. It's also designed to be a form of accountability. One of the things that I've noticed in my life, what's going on, Mufaro? All right, so one of the things that I've embraced in my life is the importance of accountability and designing systems within my life that allow me to hold myself accountable. And an allegory, or another word you can use for accountability and self accountability is discipline and self discipline. But creating systems around yourself that will allow you to track and monitor your performance and track and monitor your habits so that you know whether or not you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. So Health is Wealth Week is one of those annual accountability measures that I've designed to be able to reinforce and to remind myself that, hey, health is important, and to remind myself that am I staying on top of my health, but being able to share that vision and to share that knowledge with other people so that for you, being um, being here and listening and being involved in the week, going through that process, you'll know that this time next year, you'll have Health is Wealth Week as a form of accountability that you also can use in your life to self-check and say, hey, am I doing the things that I should be doing? And, in addition to whether or not I'm doing them, let me check in and let me, get that new knowledge and share, my experiences and things like that. So just as a form of accountability, also a preventive measure. When you raise people's awareness, when you raise your own awareness, and particularly when we're talking about health, this is an opportunity for you to take the preventive steps that you can take now before your health starts to deteriorate or before your health continues to deteriorate wherever you are on the spectrum. But taking those steps like, hey, participating in this Health and Wealth Week, and logging on, listening, commenting, just being in the space and absorbing some of that energy can help you as you start to make those changes and those transitions in your own life. So moving on from that, I can talk a lot. I'll say one of the last things about that, and I was thinking about this morning as I was kind of going over my agenda, but here's a thought for you and something that you can kind of quote and just keep at the top of your mind. The way I treat my body is a direct reflection of my level of awareness and my self-discipline. When I was thinking about where I am in my journey and thinking about, okay, how have I been performing this year and, some of the adjustments that I have to make, moving forward and things like that, because it's a constant, journey. It's a constant self-assessment. One of the things I thought of is, the way I treat my body is literally a direct reflection of my level of awareness and self-discipline. And sometimes your awareness and your self-discipline are not going to be on the same level. They're not going to grow at the same level. And to give you an example, how many people know that they should be eating healthier? How many people know that they should be walking more or engaging in physical activity? So they have the awareness, but they don't have the self-discipline. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to get started. And one of the most difficult things, and this is for people who have been maintaining some physical activity as well as for people who aren't. Like I can tell you myself, if you've been following me, for any amount of time, you'll see that, I work out, I run, I hit the gym, sometimes I do boxing. But when I go through my stints where I stop working out, whether it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks, one of the hardest things is to get back up and get back into the routine of working out. So compound that with the fact that if you haven't been working out or you haven't been engaging in physical activity for 6 months or a year or 5 years, how much more difficult it's going to be for you to be able to actually get started. But the best thing that you can do is literally just get started. Now, I'll come back to that. I'm getting a little far in the conversation, a little further than I wanted to. But I also want to make this clear that health is not just about physical activity. And this week, we'll be able to talk a lot more about, what is entailed in health. What's up, Devo? What's entailed in that conversation of health and address some of the things like you mentioned, Dominique. Hey, it's difficult, to actually get started. Well, it's hard to get started for a number of reasons. And those reasons really start when you ask yourself, okay, what's going on in the mind of the individual who is having difficulty in getting started? So that's where some of the mental aspects come along. There's also, the emotional aspects of health. And one of the things we're definitely going to talk about is the nutritional aspects of health. So with that, what I'll do is I'll kind of go over just a synopsis of what to expect this week. Today is really just the opening conversation to kind of, let you all know, hey, we're having this Health is Wealth Week. It's 100% virtual. Going forward, these events will actually happen live in conjunction with the virtual activity that we have going on. But, it just kind of worked out perfectly that since everybody is basically trapped at home because of the pandemic and we can't actually have events in person, that I did everything in a virtual manner. But there will be some in-person events, which, obviously it'll be difficult for everybody to attend, but that's why we'll also supplement it with the digital events. So some of the things, here's the list of activity that's taking place this week. Give me a second. So today is Sunday. We've got the Health is Wealth Welcome with yours truly, entrepreneur, investor, speaker, coach, former Division I and Division II athlete, as well as fitness enthusiast, Kevin Breckenridge. Hey, Dominique, I'm gonna post it right here in the comments. There it is. All right, because I can't email while I'm talking. I could, but it'll be doing too much. But I just posted the Zoom link if you want to join on Zoom. Also, all of the sessions from this week, I would love it if you could make it to the sessions while they're live. If you can't, I totally understand. But all of the sessions are going to be recorded. I'm going to upload all of that stuff so that you'll have continual access to all of the sessions, even if you miss it. But definitely would love to have you on there, during the live calls. So anyway, today we're just having the opening welcome. Tomorrow I'm excited because we are speaking with Kayla Brock. And tomorrow, this is Monday, April 20th at 2020, is Monday, April 20th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be talking about the topic mental health, performance, and nutrition. So tomorrow is mental health, performance, and nutrition, and we'll touch on a couple different, things underneath that banner. But we'll be talking with 13-year fitness and nutrition industry veteran Kayla Brock, and I'll give you a little bit of bio information about Kayla. She's got 13 years of experience in the fitness and nutrition industry. She has helped hundreds of clients lose thousands of pounds and eliminate dozens of medications. Her online personal training and nutrition coaching program is called Design Your Body Academy, and it is improving lives nationwide. So that's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely looking forward to talking to Kayla. Just, looking at her bio, and I've known Kayla for, man, it's crazy. I went to high school with Kayla and ran track with her, ran track with her brother, and, have just kind of followed her over the years. So to see all the things that she has done within her own profession, I'm excited to be able to get her on the line so we can talk about, some really high level and important things that'll help you along in that journey. On Wednesday, Tuesday, we don't have any activity. Tuesday and Thursday, there's no activity. On Wednesday, we come back Wednesday. Now, when I say no activity, I caveat that with if you have the time, and I'll touch base about this when I talk about Saturday's activity, but if you have the time, now is a good time for you to start to implement some type of change within your life when it comes to your health. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But on Tuesday and Thursday, it's not a bad idea to take some time to go for that walk, especially now. Going for a walk is a beautiful thing. What's up, Damon? The weather is beautiful. The world is pretty much silent. It's very quiet. It's very peaceful. It's very serene. So getting out for a morning, midday, or evening walk is definitely nourishing. But anyway, on Wednesday, April 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Wednesday, April 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're talking about mental rehearsal and the power of the mind. mental rehearsal and the power of the mind with internationally certified health and life coach Natasha Coco Benitez. And I love, trust me, man. Once you see Natasha's energy, you're gonna be like, man, I love her. Like I love Natasha, man. She's so cool, man, and so full of life and energy. And you can tell that she's passionate and she loves what she does. And just to give you a little background about her bio, she says, as a coach, I can only take my clients as far as I am willing to go myself. She was once 278 pounds at her heaviest weight. And at that point in time, she was unhappy in her body. And she held a mindset that prevented her from changing unhealthy habits. Moving on, in 2018, she founded Coach with Coco. She attended the Health Coach Institute and became an internationally certified health and life coach to support people as they explore habit change to live their happiest and healthiest life. She's also a certified indoor cycling instructor, and she holds a lot of classes. And sometimes I think she is live when she does some of those classes, but she hosts spin classes and fitness classes and wellness classes all throughout the Washington, D.C. area with corporate clients, with government clients, and she's very active and very busy in the health and wellness space. So that's on Wednesday. On Thursday, we don't have any activity, but again, take it upon yourself to get out on Thursday and take that 30-minute walk around the neighborhood. I know we're social distancing, so if you see anybody else on the road, get on the opposite side of the street, practice your social distancing. I know you may not be able to call a friend, but I'm sure you have some people in your house. Maybe take a kid with, take one of the kids with you, take your wife, take your husband, take your spouse, and you two practice your social distancing. Make sure you got your mask on, but go out for a 60-minute walk. Now on Friday, this is Friday, April 24th, 2020 at 3 p.m. This is again Eastern Standard Time. We are talking about mental health and entrepreneurship. Mental health and entrepreneurship. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, if you're an aspiring entrepreneur and you've been in the game for any amount of time, or you're just getting started, whether you realize it or not, or whether you've thought about it, whether you researched it, read it, or whether you've completely ignored it, entrepreneurship and mental health go hand in hand. And your performance as an entrepreneur, your experience as an entrepreneur is heavily impacted by your mental health and vice versa. So I'm looking forward to that conversation of mental health and entrepreneurship with professionally licensed counselor, Andrea Paul. Andrea, we go way back. I went to the University of Cincinnati with her, and like everybody else, I've watched them over the years. I've watched her over the years dedicate herself to her craft through education, through publishing, and I'll touch on her bio in a second, but I'm excited to have her on Friday talk about mental health and entrepreneurship. So Andrea Elizabeth Paul is a licensed professional counselor in the state of Ohio. She is also a coach, an author, and an entrepreneur. She uses her skills to help individuals and other small business owners thrive in areas they may see as weaknesses. As a mental health counselor, she assists clients in adjusting their perspectives of their current situations and ultimately changing their self-imposed narratives for the better. As an entrepreneur, she has built an online counseling practice that caters to the individual experiencing a transition in their lives. She's a cheerleader, a confidant, and a consultant. If you need help getting your business idea off the ground or need help coping with the stressors in life, she is available to hold space for you and is willing to help you create the life that you want to live. So looking forward to talking to her on Friday, and then we will end the week. So this is where I need y'all. This is where I need y'all. We're going to end the week. We can't talk about health. We can't educate about health if we don't have a fitness related activity to go along with it. So on Saturday morning, I don't know where you are. Some of y'all are on Eastern Standard Time. Some of you are on Pacific Standard Time. Some of you are on Central Standard Time. And some of you watching this might be on the other side of the world. Wherever you are on Saturday, and at 7 a.m. Eastern, well, for me, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but wherever you are, when it's 7 o'clock in the morning, I want you to get up and get out and engage in some type of physical fitness related activity for a minimum of 30 minutes. For a minimum of 30 minutes. Those, no matter where you read, what resource you read, whether it's from the federal government, whether it's from other health professionals, there is a recommended minimum of 30 minutes of physical activity every single day of your life. 30 minutes. So what can you do for 30 minutes? I'll give you a couple of ideas. Some of the things I talked about earlier that I like to do, I like to go running, right? I like to box. I like to go lift weights. But there are a lot of other things that you can do. You can go walking and walk for 30 minutes. That a 30-minute walk is going to be about a mile and a half, 2 miles, 2-mile walk, depending on how fast you walk. You can do yoga if you're doing yoga at home. You can do yoga. If you have a bike at home, you can ride your bike. You can jump rope. You actually do calisthenics. There are so many things. You can play with your kids. Play with your kids for 30 minutes. I know it's a lot of people out here who are at home and probably don't want to be at home and stuck with their kids and probably ain't spending no time with their kids. If that happens to be you, I ain't judging. I'm not going to judge you, but I'm going to tell you, spend 30 minutes playing with your kids. But anyway, Saturday morning, 7 a.m. wherever you are, I'd like for you to engage in 30 minutes of activity. I'm going to be doing it. I'm probably going to run. I'll run about 3 or 4 miles, and I want you to post a picture of you and your crew, whoever is with you, engaging in that physical fitness activity for that 30 minutes. All of the information and in terms of posting, you can go ahead and tag me in the post. I'm on all social media platforms. I would love to see your tag. And when you do the post, just put the hashtag health is wealth. Health is wealth. And I would appreciate it if you certainly tagged me in it, man. I would love to see you all out there getting busy and taking control over your life and putting your physical fitness, your mental fitness, your emotional fitness, your spiritual fitness, putting all of that into alignment and handling your business and taking those strides to live a healthier, wealthier, and happier life. So that's what we got up for the week. All right, where we at with time? All right, got about 13 more minutes. Let's see. There were a couple other things I was going to talk about today. All right, so I did the overview of events. All right, one of the things, what we'll do is we'll just transition into just a few things that I'll talk about, and I'll finish the live with this. As you are sitting where you are right now, whether in a car, whether on your couch, whether you're sitting on a toilet, wherever you are right now, ask yourself this one question. What is and what has been your relationship with your own health? What is and what has been the relationship with your own body? What is and what has been the relationship with your own mind? Self-assessing where you are today, self-assessing where you've been, and being honest and straightforward with yourself and asking yourself and answering the question, do I feel the best? Do I look how I imagine I can look? Do I feel healthy? Or am I always tired? Do I find myself always tired? Do I find myself always agitated? Do I find myself always depressed? Some people might be on a lot of medications and they still don't feel healthy. Whatever they're taking the medication for may not be solving the problem. There are all types of situations and scenarios that we can talk about. And when we have these conversations, if we have them, a lot of times people just ignore them and they continue on living the unhealthy lifestyle that they've been living because it's easy to put that stuff off. And we don't really have to address it, at least on the outside. We address it every single day inside, because there's mental turmoil. Your body, your mind and your body has a natural connection. Your mind and your body knows when it's in optimal health. And when it's not in optimal health, there's going to be distress within the body. There's going to be emotional distress. There's going to be mental distress. There's going to be physical distress. And so there are layers of this distress that we can get by on a daily basis. We can ignore on a daily basis. And we often aren't forced to really address these issues until something catastrophic happens, right? We have a heart attack. We got heartburn. We got to go to the doctor. Or whatever the case may be, we have a mental breakdown. All of these things can be addressed. All of these things can be prevented. All of these things can be fixed through a healthy lifestyle. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that more this week when we talk about, mental health, and we'll talk more about mental health and physical health, and especially when we get into the conversation about nutrition. But ask yourself where you are today. And one of the best ways you can do that is look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. How do you feel when you put your clothes on? How do you feel when you have your clothes off? Do you like what you see? Again, self-assessing. So ask yourself where you are and where you've been. And then as we go through this week, I want you to think about that as you intake the new information that we discussed this week. The tools, the tips, the tricks, the resources, the realities, the difficulties, the hardships, talking about all the things that people go through when they make these transitions to a healthy lifestyle, or what they have to go through to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And as we get towards the end of the week, just kind of self-assess where you are at the end of the week versus where you were at the beginning of the week. And then you can start to prescribe yourself your own self-medicine, in a sense, where you start to understand and develop better ways to think and better ways to act. And then you can develop your own prescription moving forward of what you need, what your mind needs, what your body needs, what you need emotionally. Then you can start that process of making the changes that you need to make throughout the rest of your life. So anyway, just some of the things I was going to say there. What has been, your relationship with your health, your relationship with your body, and then also what has been the relationship health-wise with other members of your family. One of the things, man, I won't talk about it today, but having a very intimate relationship with the impact of ill health within my family, and seeing family and even friends, but seeing family and seeing friends go through health complications and health situations that may have been prevented, or could have been shortened, or could have been addressed had there been more awareness, and not just awareness, but more action behind the awareness to actually do something, and not just do anything, but to do the right things that would be conducive to helping that person or that individual heal. So look around you and pay attention to your surroundings and how people are living and how you've been living. And I guarantee you by the end of the week, you'll have a different perspective on the lifestyle that you and those around you are living. All right, so let's see. I'll finish with this. What's up, Felicia? All right, I'll finish with this. This is a older book. I think this one was, let's see, when was this written and published? This was written and published in 1999. I actually found this one. I found this book. This is it's called Body for Life by Bill Phillips. I don't know if you can see that. Body for Life by Bill Phillips. And I actually found this one scrolling through the bookcase at one of the local thrift stores. That's one of the places I go to buy my books. They have a ton of books and they're always cheap. But I found this one, and it was a good one. It was timely because at the time I was looking to change up my physical fitness routine. And so in the book, Body for Life, what he's done is he's provided a 12-week regimen and a format of physical fitness that you can use to strengthen your body. And then he also gives you tips and tricks and ideas, thoughts and theories, and also examples of people who have, changed their life, taken more control over their physical health, and they give testimonial to the physical and the emotional and the mental changes that they've experienced over the course of 12 weeks as you go through this 12-week program. Now, the 12-week program itself, if you've ever worked out, a lot of the exercises, you're familiar with the exercises, but the real focus is on taking that 12-week period, focusing in on a new routine, and then utilizing the power of a certain type of workout to shred fat, to burn calories, and to increase, the muscle mass and all that type of stuff. But the focus is on doing what they call HIIT workouts, and it's high intensity interval training, which according to this book and just my own experience, it certainly provides a much more efficient workout, and it also provides a much more impactful workout. So you can get through the workouts in this book, depending on which one they are, anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. But 45 minutes is the max. But you do a lot of reps and a lot of exercises within that time frame. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is one of the sections he has in here, and it's towards the beginning of the book, and he talks about the importance of having a vision, right? Whether you're starting a business or whether you're, in school or planning to go to school, whatever aspect or area of life we're talking about, it is important, and not just important, it is critical. It is critical that you have a vision for where you are trying to go, because the vision is what produces the ideas, the thoughts, and the ideas behind the vision that allows you to have direction in your life. So just how you have, vision in these other areas of life, it's important that you have vision when it comes to your health, your physical, emotional, mental well-being, spiritual well-being. It's important that you have a vision for what that looks like. So in this particular section, he talks about vision, and he talks about the 3 different types of vision. And so I thought this was interesting, a good one to share with you all, and how he categorizes and how he contextualizes vision. Now, one of the things after you have, as you develop this vision, the thing that is going to allow you to start to move down that path is whether or not you have actually made a decision to make a change in your life. I correlate this with the decision I always tell anybody thinking about entrepreneurship or starting whatever business. At some point, you have to make a decision that there is going to be no other option other than the option of success, right? There's no other option. This is going to work, or I'm going to get out the game. You cannot have a plan B in a sense of the overall long-term vision, because if you have a plan B, you're never going to be able to pull yourself through to the other side. So anyway, step 1, have you made the decision to change? And if you've made the decision to change, what are some of the reasons for making that decision to change? And so when we talk about some of the reasons, when we talk about change in this context, we're talking about what changes are you going to make in your lifestyle to help you improve your health? And then what are some of the reasons why you are deciding to make that change? When you look at yourself, do you honestly like what you see? And he gives a couple of questions. Here are some questions you can ask yourself to help you identify some of your reasons for wanting to make a change in your life. How do you feel deep down inside? How do you really feel about yourself? Are you confident, energetic, and strong? Do you often wonder if you're on the right path? What are the pros and cons of continuing in the direction you're going? And would you like to create a brighter future? So he just gives you some general questions that you could ask for your reasons why you want to make a change. And then he stresses, and this is something that you'll see across the board, no matter who the educator is, when it comes to goal setting. Write down your reasons why. Write down your reasons why, and allow these reasons to be regurgitated and to be reviewed on a daily basis, multiple times a day, so that you can reinforce your reason why. And that constant reinforcement is what's going to help you continue to make the daily adjustments, the mental adjustments that you need to make. Now, moving on to the 3 types of vision, and I'll finish with this, the 3 types of vision. He says, in other words, we need to focus on our future vision. Let me explain. We all have 3 types of vision: historical, present, and future. Where you are in life and where you will go from here has a lot to do with what type of vision you allow to dominate your thoughts, decisions, and actions. A person whose actions are dominated by historical vision believes just about everything that's important, enjoyable, or significant in his or her life has already happened. Think about that one. And then he gives a little more context to historical vision. And it's funny because historical vision is actually, of the 3 segments of vision that he talks about, historical vision is the one that he articulates the most. And one can only guess, is it because most people tend to stay stuck in this idea of historical vision rather than living in the present, and more importantly, developing and harnessing the power of future vision. So continuing on with the idea of historical vision, these folks spend a lot of time reflecting on the good old days, talking about high school parties, prom night, the fumble they recovered in a big football game, how they used to be great. Key words: used to be. That's the mantra of people with historical vision. It's as if their lives are over. They would rather look backward than forward because it's easier to reminisce about where they've been than to try to figure out where they're going. People with that kind of focus are reluctant to accept new ideas or opportunities, and they have trouble sticking with anything challenging. Woo! That's powerful, right? Simple but powerful. Simple but powerful. And we all know people like that. And sometimes we get caught up in that historical thinking. What's worse is that individuals with historical vision are very uncomfortable with the growth of others because it threatens the structure and apparent equilibrium of their own lives. They are uncomfortable with evolution, so as a positive change in those around them, be that a husband, a wife, or friends, is something that they fear. The fact is, they probably feel at some level that they're going to be left behind if they don't start moving their own behinds. And the truth is, they're probably right. All right, moving on. That's historical vision. We'll move on to present vision. He says, I've discovered that far too many people who want to create a better body and more fulfilling life are dominated by what I call present vision. They aren't obsessed with going back in time, but neither are they focused nearly enough on the future. These people have tremendous potential to improve rapidly. They just need guidance. They need someone to help them look forward instead of focusing so much on the moment. People whose daily actions are governed by future vision, on the other hand, continually keep growing. They are constantly taking on new and bigger challenges. They're always creating, modifying, and improving their vision of the future. What has happened to such people in the past is not ignored or denied. These experiences are used to develop skills that help them get where they want to go, but it's always where they're going that remains the primary focus. When you develop a strong future vision, you don't have to force yourself to set goals. Your mind just compels you to set them. And every time you accomplish an objective, it's not the end of anything, it's the beginning. It's the starting point for another stage on an ongoing journey of progress, development, growth, and adventure. The difference between historical, present, and future vision. According to, again, this book is Body for Life by Bill Phillips. It was written and published in 1999. So that's all I have for you today. If you are just logging on today, if you're just logging on and you missed the rest of the presentation, it will be available. I will post this video on my profile so that you can go back and watch it. Also, let me post the Zoom information so you can join by Zoom conversation throughout the rest of the week. And just to give you an overview again of what's going to take place throughout the rest of the week, tomorrow at 2 p.m., we're having a conversation about mental health, performance, and nutrition with 13-year industry veteran, Caleb Brock. And then on Wednesday, we are talking about mental preparation and the power of the mind with Health Internationally licensed and recognized health and wellness coach Natasha Coco Benitez. That's going to take place Wednesday at 1 p.m. And then on Friday, we are having a conversation about mental health and entrepreneurship. And that conversation is going to take place with licensed professional counselor Andrea Paul. That is going to be Friday at 3 p.m. And then Saturday is a time that you're going to take on your own, 7 a.m. Well, here's 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but at 7 a.m., wherever you are in the world, you're going to go outside or you're going to go in your basement, you're going to go in your workout room, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you normally do, assuming that you have some physical activity, we're going to go out collectively as one mind in the universe, and we're going to go out and engage in 30 minutes of physical fitness activity, and then we're going to post a picture on our social media profiles showing that we have taken part in Health is Wealth Week, and we're going to tag, you can tag myself at Legacy in Motion, you can tag some of the other speakers. All of their social media information is available on my fan page. If you haven't taken a moment to like my fan page, please like my fan page on Facebook. It means a lot to me as I continue to get likes and continue to grow my community. I look forward to continuing to give you all, tools, tips, tricks, everything, that I have at my disposal to help you, improve your physical, emotional, spiritual, financial health and wealth. So that's what we have going on this week. I thank you for joining in, and it's been a great conversation. I hope you all are staying safe. And lastly, if you haven't been physical, if you don't have a physical fitness routine on Saturday, without seeing your doctor, I don't want you to just jump in and start doing something physical and getting crazy with it, because we have to be smart about it. But if you have not been maintaining any type of physical fitness routine and you don't know what to do for 30 minutes, start off with just going for a walk. Go for a walk, a 30-minute walk. Put your mind first, put your body first, put your health first. And that's all we got. I love you. Thank you for joining. Peace.